Updates us on how it's protecting kids and their family from ice rains.
A new fund to clean up Hillcrest following a rash of vandalism in the area.
How the county stepped in at the last minute to keep a beloved City of San Diego beachfront institution from burning out.
A new study from UCSD is sounding the alarm about a parasite in freshwater fish. I have more on how not to get infected.
The queen of Boogie Woogie, Sue Palmer, celebrates 25 years with her Motel Swing Orchestra.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now. The San Diego Unified School District has some reassuring news for families who may be feeling targeted tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. District leaders just gave their year-end update on efforts to protect students and families. And despite positive results, they say they're still being vigilant. CBS 8's Abby Black is live at district headquarters to explain. Abby?
Marcella, this Protecting Our Students report comes as the district reveals some telling numbers. They say that they've served more than 650 students, mostly immigrants, in their Newcomer Welcome Center that was launched this past school year. Now, they say while these resources are in place, district leaders say that the threat to families is still very real.
School will always be a safe haven for all of our students and all of our families. We will never ask students and families about immigration status.
Longtime school board member Richard Barrera is reassuring families their students remain protected, even after President Trump lifted federal policies that kept schools off limits to immigration officers.
We will never allow immigration officials to come onto our campuses or get access to our student records without a federal judicial warrant. We will always inform our students and our families of their rights.
Today, San Diego Unified released its progress report on the Protecting Our Students campaign, launched just before Trump's inauguration, when districts expected schools, churches, and hospitals would lose their safe location status. The result? 0 reports of ICE agents on any San Diego Unified campuses since January.
What this information tells us is that we've done a good job protecting our students and families, and we have to keep it up.
But interim superintendent Dr. Fabi Bagula says that families are clearly seeking information. The district's Know Your Rights webpage has gotten 10,000 page views. They're distributing red cards with step-by-step instructions for ICE encounters. School board president Cody Peterson says that staff training has been crucial, especially after Los Angeles schools successfully turned away ICE agents in April for failing to provide warrants.
The reality is, it is very likely to happen. We saw it happen in LA. We've seen an escalation. For us, the main thing is to prepare to keep our kids and our families safe.
The district says moving forward, they'll stay on track, but adjust when necessary and ensure students and their families feel safe.
Now, as to why the district is taking these steps, a political analyst tells me that there have been concerns about attendance dropping because of deportation fears, meaning that they could lose funding. But I went straight to the district about this, and they tell me that while there was a brief dip in attendance earlier this year, it bounced back, and it's actually up overall. Carlo and Marcella.
Thank you, Abby. San Diego County is stepping up to save the city of San Diego's beloved fire pits from the budget axe.
The city had earmarked the 184 fire pits for removal as it faces a multi-million-dollar budget deficit. But this afternoon, County Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer and San Diego City Council President Joe LaCava announced that the county is pledging $135,000 in grant funding to cover fire ring maintenance through this upcoming fiscal year, which starts on July 1st. So yes, the fire rings have been saved for at least a year. You can go out and enjoy them. Lawson-Remer had asked her constituents if the county should provide funding for the fire pits for the following year, and they overwhelmingly responded yes.
We really wanted to be good partners to the city, and so I've offered, I said, look, you know, we'll help you out. The county can help you out, try to keep these fire pits open for the next year while the city gets a longer term plan in place to keep operating them.
So again, this is just for this upcoming fiscal year, which starts in July. The money will help with ash removal, safety compliance, and upkeep at beaches like Ocean Beach, Fiesta Island, and La Jolla Shores.
The man who owned the website Girls Do Porn appeared in San Diego federal court this morning to plead guilty to sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors say Michael Pratt tricked young women and at least one minor to appear in pornographic videos by luring them through modeling job ads. Several victims of the scheme were in the courtroom for today's hearing, but CBS 8 talked to one who did not attend today. She told us Pratt's guilty plea does nothing to make amends for the pain he caused.
A guilty plea is just words. It doesn't undo the damage, and it doesn't give back the years that he's stolen from not only my life, but from so many lives of all of the women. The trauma that I carry, the innocence that he ripped away. Justice would look like real accountability, real consequences, and protections for others that this has happened to. But until then, it feels like more like a headline than healing.
Pratt is asking for a sentence of 22 years. His sentencing is scheduled for September 8th.
San Diego city leaders have created a new fund to help combat vandalism and hate crimes in Hillcrest. As CBS 8's Shannon Handy reports, this comes after a string of incidents last year, which resulted in the prosecution of 2 men.
It was those prosecutions that really started all of this. That is because the restitution paid for by the men prosecuted will be used to start the Community Restoration Fund. Now, they were charged with vandalizing parts of Hillcrest with swastikas as well as anti-LGBTQ+ slurs. We heard from one man who was with a group of community members who helped clean it up.
Last year's event in August is when we found some of those hate symbols that are being mentioned. And I was so proud of our community that they decided to stand up. They took pictures, we reported it with our LGBT liaisons, and they scrubbed the hell out of those hate signs because hate does not belong in Hillcrest.
Here is surveillance video we obtained showing a pair of men vandalizing trash cans in front of the rail bar. Last summer, 3 men drove to Hillcrest and vandalized murals, walls, and signs. About 18 trash cans, a mural in Mural Alley, 3 murals on a utility box, and the exterior walls of 2 businesses were vandalized. Volunteers with the Hillcrest Business Association were able to remove the black shoe polish with rags, but painters were hired to repaint the damaged murals. The district attorney's office charged 2 of the men with vandalism and a hate crime. Now, last month, they pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor hate crime charge, placed on 1-year probation, were ordered to pay nearly $2,500 in restitution and complete LGBTQ+ education classes. That money is being used to help create the Community Restoration Fund to pay for materials and equipment in support of volunteer cleanup events in the Hillcrest. District Attorney Summer Stephan explained today why they put so much effort into this case, as well as others in the community.
Hate crimes have a ripple effect, whether it's against a person or against property. And this is why we invest so much effort to fight hate every single day. And the data and the statistics are showing that that's working. After that big push last year, we're now seeing a huge reduction this year in crimes committed against this community.
Volunteers will be out at Hillcrest this Saturday looking for graffiti or any other type of vandalism they can clean up. This, of course, comes just 1 month before San Diego celebrates Pride. The parade is scheduled for July 19th. Reporting at Hillcrest, Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
New tonight, a new study from UC San Diego is warning the public about the presence of a parasite in freshwater fish.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney joins us live from Lake Murray with more about the fish-borne parasites. Alex.
Carlo and Marcella, that's right. You can find the snails that create that parasite all over the ground here at Lake Murray. I spoke with the author of the study today, and he told me that there's an easy way to not get infected. A new study from UC San Diego says nearly all freshwater fish in Southern California have been exposed to a parasite in snails that could infect humans. The study centers around 2 types of flatworms called trematodes. This is the first recorded widespread presence in Southern California. It's already been found in 17 other states and Southeast Asia. The bacteria poses a previously underreported public health risk.
3 years at SMC and then 2 years at UC Santa Cruz.
UC San Diego professor Ryan Heckinger is a co-author of the study. He says these parasites come from a particular type of snail that leaves behind an infected cyst in the snails and their eggs that fish eat, and eventually pass it on to their final host. The study started when one of his grad students found the snails along Lake Murray.
He actually discovered some strange snails that were there. And he said, what are these high-spired snails. High-spire means they have like really long, pointed, like a unicorn.
The study says parasitic infections happen when people consume raw or undercooked fish. Heckinger says there's no reason to worry as long as you prepare your fish under FDA guidelines.
There's no need to freak out and panic. Simply cook your fish before eating it or freeze it before eating it. You can cook your fish medium rare and you might not kill all the parasites. If you freeze it first and then cook it, even rare, you will kill the parasites.
So these are the snails that are actually causing the issue, and you can tell which ones they are because they come to this little point here. We're at Lake Murray and you can see these snail shells all up and down the coast here. So what happens is fish eat these snails, get the parasite, and then pass it on to the final host, which is you who could be eating them.
Carlos is an avid bass fisherman who comes to Lake Murray 3 to 4 times a week. He pointed out the snails to me today and agrees with the study to never eat a fish straight out of the water.
People actually catch like a mackerel and bonita and fillet it right there and eat it right on the spot. It's pretty wild, but yeah.
You can't be doing that, right?
No, I wouldn't recommend that.
The study says the parasites can cause gastrointestinal issues and in some rare cases, strokes or heart attacks.
Now, Professor Heckinger went on to say that he's showing the study to public health officials, and they will hopefully make some signs around freshwater fishing sites to warn people about them, just like here at Lake Murray. Once again, there is nothing to worry about right now, so long as you cook your fish all the way through, or even better yet, let it freeze for an entire week before you enjoy. Reporting here live from Lake Murray, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Thanks, Alex. So no freshwater sashimi in San Diego.
Right. No, that's great advice. Thank you, Alex.
A Japanese company tries again to land on the surface of the moon. Were they able to pull it off? We'll have that story still ahead.
Also coming up tonight, beachfront yoga is back in San Diego. A look at one of the first classes after a controversial ban was blocked by an appeals court.
And the new concerns about the health of firefighters who were on the front lines of January's devastating fires in Los Angeles.
All the clouds. That's exactly what we've been seeing. So June gloom is in full swing, but we are looking at a little bit more of that afternoon sunshine and a warm up in the forecast for the weekend. All those details are coming up.